A matchup, Fusion University and Atlanta Academy. We're going to be starting on Mecha Base here on Busan, and right now seeing on both sides, I don't think Sugar Free is going to be sticking on that 76. If I were to assume that's going to be a Brigitte here in just a second, but looking at the defense, there's some fun stuff there.
Yeah, there is. Nice. Usually on the Zarya, that's going to be Bernar's hero. This time around, Fusion University going with that Ice Queen, the Mei. So ATL, they have Hawk on a different animal, the gorilla, this time around. So there is going to be no chance of eating a Blizzard. Atlanta have a lot of mobility, a lot more shielding this time around, but Fusion University have that stall.
Yeah, Atlanta using that double main tank. We'll talk about that just a little bit later. Chongsit going to be the first to fall in this fight, but Knight's going to even things up. Dogman going to be the first for Atlanta Academy. So this is a 5v5 as the control point does open up, but it looks like Atlanta Academy have a little bit more of an advantage in terms of positioning. Knight's going back to spawn. This is Atlanta Academy's point if they so choose to take it.
Oh, looks likely, but oh no, Gator goes down at the very last second. ATL, they cap the point first. How much longer can they hold it? The whole strength of Fusion University now bearing down on this point.
Oh, and the Winston was shield bash before getting back onto the point, so there is no stall from them. So only 5% from Atlanta Academy. Fusion University pretty much winning this first fight in this first take. Alarm with that Transcendence online. Atlanta Academy are going to use the rally right away, so everyone has that damage mitigation as the rest of Atlanta Academy are coming on to the objective. Dogman's going to go down thanks to a frag from Alarm, so this is a 6v5 from Fusion University, and the Reinhardt and the Brick are going to be knocked down. This means that there are going to be some environmental kills from Ajax and Atlanta Academy, but that's not going to be enough, as Fusion University are going to end up getting the numbers game and the numbers win there at the edge of Mecha Base and continue on this objective.
That is such a dangerous place to live as a Reinhardt, right on the edge of the hangar there, but Fusion University managed to hang on to their lead here. ATL coming in nice, missed that wall very early on. It could have been a crucial misplay, but ATL letting Fusion University slip through their fingers without getting those crucial kills, and now we are heading into that ultimate phase of the game, my friend.
Fusion University has 6, Atlanta Academy have 5, and the ultimates are going to be coming out. Snillo taken very, very low, but the heals are there. Transcendence is going to keep him alive until he wakes up. Graviton Surge coming from Fusion University. Chongsik's going to get the first 2 kills. The Blizzard is as well. And so Atlanta Academy going back to spawn. So far, Ham, Fusion University pretty dominant here on Mecha Base.
100%. You don't have a diva on the field, fine. We're going to combo grab with a Blizzard. So often we see that Blizzard wasted because there's no way to keep the enemy team from using their mobility, but the Graviton Surge is a perfect answer. And now Fusion University will still have that rally and the sound barrier to boot should ATL actually ever manage to take this fight on the objective.
Hawk is going to be on that diva, choosing that's going to be a little bit better. They knew, they heard you, they knew exactly why they lost that last fight, as Atlanta Academy very far away from a lot of their ultimate. Sugar Free really wants that rally very soon, as the heals are going to be there, but not for the rest of the team, as Gator taken very, very low. Fusion University are fully healed right now, as Atlanta Academy going to have to use that Transcendence to make it on to the objective. And wow, Gator's going to get stunned and somehow is still alive. First Shatter going to knock 2 from Atlanta Academy. Sugar Free will be the first to fall. Sound barrier now coming from Fusion University, but look at this. Gator is going to get a double charge kill, evening this thing up, but not for long, as Fusion University are going to take things into their own hands. They want some revenge there. Self-destruct from Atlanta Academy. You need to get everyone on Fusion University, but that's not what we're going to see, as the overtime leg was very close to coming down. Alarm, we said it earlier, the guy can frag, and we're seeing exactly why. That accuracy is barred on some of the best Zenyatta in Contenders NA. And now with the Transcendence, it's just stall time from Atlanta Academy. They need to get a kill. They need to maintain presence on this point, and they did not, as Fusion University are going to take this 100-5.
Wow, Fusion University, they knew exactly what they needed to win right here. ATL trying to just overcome the Fusion University playbook with numbers. We're just going to throw more ultimates in here, but as you can see, as the end result from this fight, Fusion University won it with just 2 ultimates invested. ATL blew their entire bank but won. So all in all, out aggression is not going to be the way forward for Atlanta now. They gotta, hold back, just take a deep breath. Where is Fusion University the weakest? Even if there's not a weakness, how can we create an opening for ourselves? We can't just be barreling straight into the face of the enemy anymore.
Yeah, you gotta find the weakness and take it. You can create it, like you said, based on your play, because Fusion University might not be seeing what Atlanta is coming to offer, and I'm liking this look a little bit more. Hawk is such a great diva, but looking at Fusion University, we're going to start Snow off with a headshot and 25% on those wall hacks, and the jump's not going to be high enough, and maybe just wanted to scare Snillo away. The Gators are, already pretty close to below half. He's in a very weird position right now, and the Venomine's going to give Snillo a little bit more ult, as Nice is going to get the first kill on a 2 Dogman. So Fusion University has a 6v5, and that's why you're seeing the tanks jump right in to the fight, because they have an advantage. They have a numbers advantage. Chonksick going to get a kill onto Sugar Free. This is now a 6v, pretty much 3.5 with Hawk out of that match.
Yeah, Hawk just going to have to throw himself off the edge, but not, no. Says no. Snillo would like to add to that headshot kill count. Thank you. But Fusion University, this is a modified look from what we see usually here on downtown. Really good play. Both Nice and Snillo really close to their ultimates unless they already have it here. And this is actually really crucial. If Snillo pops this Infrasight, they could just force ATL to have to wait it out, buy even more time.
But they're going to be living in Winston's bubble for now. A lot of people from Fusion University taking very low. Bernard's going to get DMAC to start this off, close to that self-destruct, but Dogman's going to get that kill in the end. So Atlanta Academy, for the first time so far in Busan, have an opening for this point, but so far that's going to be taken away. Saucy has switched to that McCree to counter that Farah in the air. Nice has the rocket barrage, was unable to use it, but with the res might be able to bring this back for Fusion University.
Yeah, it looks likely. There's still a barrage online, but with the loss of the main tank, Fusion University probably going to beat a hasty retreat. No, they're still poking around the edges, waiting to see if they could get a pick themselves. This is dangerous territory.
Oh, hello, Hawk getting the 2K on that self-destruct. There's something special in store for you guys when there's 3, just so you guys know. Fusion University now coming in with that self-destruct as well. Will it be as big? No, because Bernard has been a DMX. So Atlanta Academy in control right now against Fusion University on downtown.
Is this going to be a reverse of their very first round? Fusion University now with that early lead, but ATL catching up very quickly. It was a good gambit, that Widow and Farah forcing ATL to split their attention. Fusion's like, well, you gotta come to us eventually, and you're gonna be, forcing yourself landing on our bullets. However, a mispositioning gave ATL that opening and a really good early swap by Saucy, who will now have this high noon perfect to buy more time.
Well, especially since Fusion University took a lot of damage coming into this fight, so Chonksick's gonna have to use that Primal Rage in defense of that. Saucy has that high noon, that Deadeye, but the Primal Raging Winston trying to make sure he's unable to get any value from it. But the Primal Raging Winston's not gonna have any more life. Chonksick gonna get a kill onto Sugar Free, but that's going to be it. The high noon's gonna be there to reload in the end. Atlanta Academy and Fusion University are even here on the objective, but Atlanta Academy are already on it, so that's gonna be a much easier defensive point that Fusion University are using to attack. As the Transcendence is gonna save Snillo. Snillo got very aggressive there. Without the Transcendence, they do not win this fight. Really good offensive use of that ultimate, which we don't see very often.
No, Alarm not just good for fragging or defensive trances, but maintaining that momentum just when ATL thought that wave was about to break. Fusion University all in, they pop that trance and they continue the push. ATL now with 85% up are going to have to retake this point, but things are looking pretty good. Hawk ready, nearly ready with that bomb. We've seen incredible things from this guy so far, but first they got a weather nice grab.
And so Fusion University are going to try to use a good one, and they're going to get stuck onto the high ground. That may not be what they were expecting completely, as the shield was able to cover the entire Atlanta Academy team, as Hawk self-destruct not going to get any value there. Sugar Free, though, getting taken down below half health, but that's not going to be enough to take him back to spawn. Fusion University still in control of this fight. If Atlanta Academy let this go on a little bit longer, whoever wins this fight will be winning the round. A really good stun onto Chonksick, but no follow-up damage coming from Atlanta Academy, and right now they're all just trying to get to their ults.
Yeah, no, they're jockeying back and forth right here. Dogman will be the first one with the Transcendence in hand. He pops it right away, trying to find an opening, but no, it's going to be Saucy going down.
Yeah, through the Transcendence, that means Saucy was not able to get that healing, as the rest of Fusion University are getting their ultimates. They have a huge advantage coming into this fight, particularly since Atlanta are already lacking those numbers. Chonksick with that Primal Rage not finding a ton of value, but the Graviton Surge is going to find a little bit more, as Fusion University are going to lock this up and go up 1-0 against Atlanta Academy here on Busan.
That was, certainly unexpected, at least from me, Boop. I was thinking, a little bit more back and forth. Things looked a lot more competitive in downtown, but Mecha Base was, practically a wash.
The Blizzard got to him, not having a Diva. Hawk is so good. They went for the double main tank. I like the effort. I like the chutzpah, the Moxie, that they were able to bring to that game, but that's kind of where it ended at Moxie. There was no actual result.
Yes, you can't just know the theory, you must be able to execute as well. It was all for naught, even through Nice's best efforts right there as we watched him lasering down the enemy. We just saw the McCree was just so well protected in that back line. the Fusion University, or excuse me, ATL were taking tons of damage before they even got to the objective.
Yeah, exactly. And then they weren't able to find as much value in those ultimates either. Hawk did have a very, very good self-destruct, got a 2K during Busan, but that was pretty much the best case for them in terms of ultimate usage. Fusion University, we talked about that, 1v1 matchups, Gator, versus Chongsik, Bernard versus Hawk, Dogman versus Alarm, and right now I think Fusion University are winning almost every one of those.
Yeah, Fusion University, even though they're not showing maybe as fresh of those looks, but the ones that they are bringing to the table are played almost perfectly. They know which of these fights are largely lost, so we're just going to poke, how far exactly to poke, how quickly they can rebound, take the enemy team off guard. We're both 5v5. Who's going to actually commit to this fight? And Fusion University, using all of those tactics, came out on top.
And so they're up 1-0 going into our hybrid map, which will be Numbani. We saw Dogman and Numbani earlier today. We were doing some, we were watching some VODs, and Numbani is Dogman's kind of like fragging place.
Oh yeah, no, it is definitely his groove. Music is just, perfectly in tempo for him. And yeah, this is a very difficult. This is going to be a very difficult place to attack. We've seen Farah looks on Numbani to, greater and less success.
McCree, 76 sometimes.
As well.
Yep.
It was actually Mayhem Academy not Mayhem Academy. It was Logix on the McCree, who did amazing things defensively on Numbani. So there are a lot of potential outcomes here. The question again, of course, is who's going to be committing, and is the whole team committed to that same play? Because we saw a lot of times, when, at least in my own ranked games, there's a Farah, somebody go hit scan, and there's waffling, maybe they're not that good, but as we've seen here, ATL able to not only make that decisive decision, we are going to go on McCree, but Saucy able to deliver.
Saucy and deliver. I feel like that matches. There's something there that we just missed an opportunity on, I think. But now that we're going into our second map, which is Numbani, I'm really interested to see these Diva matchups. I feel like Numbani is a really popular place for some Poco or Kobe bombs.
Bernard bombs,
yeah,
maybe.
Or maybe even some Hawk bombs as well. Let's see. But, we've really upped this Diva matchup, right? Unfortunately, we weren't able to see Hawk on Diva for a lot of the first round of Busan, but we were able to see him on downtown pretty, the whole time. Right now, Bernard, I think, has his number, but do you see things evening up a little bit more?
I'm sure they're going to even up. Hawk has really good placement of those self-destructs, even solo. And Numbani Streets phase does offer a lot of ability to get some of those sneaky bombs off. There's like buses that intersect the street. So if you get behind one of them, you can lob one and nobody's going to know exactly what direction it's coming from.
Well, just so you guys know, at home, there's a little bit of a delay because we are waiting on some connections right now. And so, we're going to talk a little bit more about Busan. So control is a really common place where potentially the underdog can take the victory in that map round. We already talked about we already talked about how important it is for them to win the maps that aren't Assault, because they can't depend on Assault being there for them. So they're doing everything right so far. If they're able to maintain this consistency, what does Atlanta have to do to take that momentum away? Because for some teams, it's just winning a fight. For a team like Fusion University, they've extended fights for a very long time, so they know they could win it. Are Atlanta susceptible to that?
I would say Atlanta is a team that kind of comes in hot and heavy, right? They have those crazy, quirky game plans. We're like, yeah, man, we're just going to play Bastion and just, put bullets in heads, forehead. But Fusion University, they are much more measured. They're consistent. They also have tons of endurance. As you've mentioned, Boop, they've gone to multiple game 5, so they know how to, amp it up in overtime or when, the cards are really stacked against them. So ATL, they just have to recognize that maybe some of their, tried and true strategies aren't going to be working as effectively against Fusion University, and to never really sleep on the enemy. A lot of times, especially if you're coming into week 5, you're already in the playoffs, it can be easy to get too comfortable with yourself. And so if they are going to be taking Numbani here against Fusion University's Farah and Sombra, they got to be bringing their A game.
Still, it's a pretty good Sombra. And so I'm really excited to see what Fusion University can bring to the table. The EMP self-destruct, potentially even better than the Graviton Surge self-destruct for some people's opinions.
EMP Barrage, also an option on the table.
EMP is a silence for an AoE silence. And so when you can't use your shields, you're going to be susceptible to damage. As Saucy, going between a couple characters, but we'll decide here eventually. We're seeing Atlanta Academy run at Goat. Saucy has switched to that McCree, knowing that Neist and Elk are on the pharmacy.
Yeah, and a good swap from Gator as well. You really want to be able to contest that high ground as the Winston back up your your D.Va, get in that Pharah's face. So ATL, they will have, taken a few seconds off the clock, but now they're in a much better matchup against what Fusion University are bringing. But ooh, Saucy getting really chunked down low.
Yeah, very far behind on that ultimate economy as well as they're deciding, that team comp took a long time. And with that health pack being hacked, that's going to put Atlanta Academy at a disadvantage if they get poked down in the middle of main here. And so Fusion University knowing what they need to do. Very good hack coming from Snilla on that health pack. That's going to be very important for later. I can almost guarantee it. Atlanta Academy, though, they're trying to push their way in here and get that damage and get that opening pick.
Yeah, but there's very little you do without your Winston at your side right here. But a D-Mech does come through. Bernard now out of it. All of Saucy's bullets, should he land them, will find their mark.
Yeah, so Nice is going to have to get to that barrage and get a couple kills from it. Saucy is down, though, so this is a 5v5 on the point so far. Nice does have that rocket barrage. They do see him coming. The most well-built streetlight in the history of the world will be taking down Nice in the end. Dogman, though, going to use that Transcendence, not going to let that, distract him. Fusion University are in the back foot here. They do lose the point. That is the definition of feels bad, man.
Yep. Nice. Yeah, that barrage can blow through 800 pounds of German-engineered armor, but one street sign is just way too much of an ask. Dogman has to be feeling like the world's luckiest Zenyatta right now.
Why isn't that guy making the railings?
Yeah, come
right?
on.
Like, why isn't that guy making the railings for the rest of all of Overwatch's world?
So much money wasted on infrastructure, but ATL going to take that win and roll with it. They have Hawk's bomb now. Are we going to be seeing some spicy self-destructs? There's also the potential for that Primal Rage to knock fools into that self-destruct. Snillo's still trying to see if he can get value from this EMP.
Oh, he's going to get taken down. The Harmony Orb is going to be there. Primal Rage, though, getting taken out from Gator on Atlanta Academy. The Hawk has that self-destruct. That's got to be scary coming from Fusion University. Bernard has one of his own as well, but Snillo has the game-making EMP for Fusion University, and the self-destruct EMP combo is so good. Will we be seeing that? Atlanta Academy only have the 2 ultimates. They will have the 3 with the support ultimates. Rally is going to be popped here very soon. And so self-destruct EMP is there. Bernard is going to get the 1 kill onto Saucy, so no particle barriers for anybody. This is a bad news bears for Atlanta Academy right now. As Hawk, though, bringing this back, so this is actually even, and with that Transcendence, Atlanta Academy are going to maintain some presence on this point so far, and what started off as 2 kills from Fusion University are going to end in a loss on that defense.
Oh, wow. You would think that Bernard's bomb catching just the tail end of Saucy's pants, felling that Zarya, but Hawk, once again, we talk about this guy's ability to position, find those crucial cleanup kills, and even without a self-destruct, even hacked.
Beautiful.
Even hacked, he was able to turn that fight around for his team and will now be holding on to that bomb for this very next 3rd push. Fusion University themselves, they have, a little bit of wiggle room, both support ultimates and nice Graviton Surge.
Here we go. Hawk's going to throw that self-destruct into the backline. Still is going to have to wait a little longer to get back to the team as he needed to protect himself. Saucy getting taken very, very low. The self-particle barrier is going to be all he needs to get back to the rest of the team. Transcendence being taken down from Fusion University, though. So the only thing that they have is the Graviton Surge and the Sound Barrier, which is going to be launched at the same time for this fight. They're still going to be behind after it. Hawk D-Mech is a nice consolation prize, but they definitely wanted a little bit more, especially since Hawk is almost back in that mech. Gator very far away from that Earth Shatter, but I can't see the same thing from Saucy on that Graviton Surge. This payload, we didn't talk about the momentum, but all of a sudden you blink, we're here on the 3rd point with 4 minutes left. Now, Graviton Surge coming from Atlanta Academy are going to get Chong Sick into the Unwilling Hug, but that's going to be the worst case for Fusion University. They're going to be able to deal with this. Nice is going to get Hawk out of that mech. That didn't seem to work last time, as Hawk is very close to getting back in it. They need to confirm that kill when they get that D-Mech, as Hawk will be getting back into that mech eventually, but not before Fusion University do fall. So Bernard going to try to get to the backline, get those micro missiles, do some damage. Dogman, it's not long for this world. As Fusion University do put up a defense, but it was pretty hard for them.
Oh no, it was a very close thing, Boop. ATL, again, this team, they just walk in there and dare you to stop them. Even down a man, 5v4 against Fusion University. Gator was on that payload, he had a big shield, and if he was on that payload was moving. And Fusion University themselves scrambling to find a hold. And now Rally from Sugar Free going to be buffing ATL into this next fight.
Yeah, they're going to have that armor, which means they're going to be taking a little less damage than Fusion University. Snillo is pretty far away from that Rally. Chong Sick, though, does have that Earth Shatter, and Atlanta Academy will have one of their own. The Ultimate Economy is evening up here just in a second, but Fusion University do have a small window of time where they have an advantage. They just have to know it. They have to be tracking those ultimates ultimates. Chongsik now looking for the right opportunity. So far, they're pushing him back. They're unable to actually get him into a position to Earthshatter. They waited so long that Dogman's actually going to get Bernard out of that mech, and the charge onto Shield Bash into Chongsik is going to leave the rest of Fusion University a little bit more vulnerable, but he's going to get the kill onto Sugar Free with that pin. So this is a 6v5 for Fusion University. The Graviton Surge now coming from Atlanta, going to be combined with that sound barrier, and now the bomb. Nothing to it. You got to worry every time Hawk throws that. It could be nothing, it could be 5. Fusion University, though, you know, Saucy does get that kill, so this is not a done deal for them. Bernard is going to have a bomb of his own. It's just going to be a zoning one, so the rest of Fusion University are able to get back onto this payload. It's going to buy them a couple seconds, and the Reinhardt Gator getting taken low, but still, the rest of Atlanta Academy aren't getting taken down completely until Chongsik on that hand.
Oh no, ATL still trying to apply the hydraulic press. They fight until they're absolutely dead. There are no soft resets for this team right here, Fusion University. Oh, it was such a close thing. They nearly gave up that point, but ATL, to their credit, were able to force Fusion University onto several, you know, desperation swaps right there. A really crucial speed boost from Elk to get Fusion back into the fight when Bernard tossed that bomb. A lot of really good plays from the Lucio on the defensive side, saved that sound barrier at the right time, waiting safe in the trees, away from the rest of ATL. Those are the good, consistent things that Fusion University are doing right now, but they just don't have enough aggression.
Yeah, Sugar Free popped that rally, and then a lot of that armor is already gone from some members of that team, particularly Hawk and Atlanta Academy are going to be victim to that unwilling hug on that Graviton Surge, and their HP bars aren't long. They're long gone. They aren't long because they're gone. Yes. And so Fusion University going to get the team wipe on Atlanta Academy, who now have only a minute left on their time bank.
They were likely expecting an eco push or a lost fight right there. Now they're just now regaining some of those crucial ultimates. Is Atlanta now, but they charge in with that Graviton Surge, the Earth Shatter, and the Trance. Fusion University, they have, you know, some of the same online. It is going to be an all-out bare knuckle brawl here as Dogman. Ooh, yeah, it is very close. You don't want to have to pop that Trance unless you absolutely need to.
These guys might not soft reset, but that would have been a full reset for them. As we hear nerf this, Bernard's going to throw it into the backline. Transcendence is going to be popped from Atlanta Academy. This is going to be it for Atlanta Academy. The Earthshatter's going to knock Chongsik onto the ground. The pin is there, and so is the self-destruct from Hawk. So Fusion University definitely on the back foot onto this defense. They're going to not get an opportunity to defend once again, as Atlanta Academy, at the very end of their run here on Numbani, do finish it out and grab 3 points.
Really good stuff. I mean, Gator, it feels like this guy just walks forward and Fusion fall before him like a cock of toothpicks. Graviton Surge right here. We saw that decision-making, the sound barrier added from Ajax just in case Fusion University got some kind of crazy counter shatter going, or the D.Va self-destruct didn't find pay dirt, and ATL just looking 2 steps ahead of Fusion University that entire round.
Yeah, look at all those 1s and 7s. It was like meant to be on the other side. I like that. That feels good for some reason. Fusion University now know exactly what they have to do to beat Atlanta Academy's time. They got to get over 17 seconds, and they really want to get over that minute. Fusion University, though, are going to be looking at trying to do the same team comp they ran on defense.
It was a pretty interesting stuff right here. It's certainly a gamble. There's always going to be a gamble here. Atlanta, they seem so sure, so steadfast. Even in the moments where they were losing those fights, I feel like you could count their lost fights on one hand. Even though they're held to only 17 seconds, it was more like that third point was just one super long, drawn out epic saga poem of a fight, and nobody ever really fully reset. So Atlanta Academy showing that, you know, they are not above just brawling out in, you know, some dirty Overwatch, getting those wins however they need to, whereas Fusion University seem much more comfortable with set fights. Okay, now we are brawling. We are going to be brawling at high tea, good sirs.
It's like the Redcoats versus the American Militia, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, Atlanta Academy is looking good so far. They finished the map, and that's exactly what you want in this kind of situation. Fusion University going to try to match that, as they are going to come out of spawn with Nice on that Pharah, and Nice on the Pharah can pop off. We've seen it before. 21% on that old charge. You want to do a quick little change, because the success, particularly of a Pharah, is determined by how fast you can get that rocket barrage. Kind of has Junkrat vibes in that sense, but with Chongsik getting Gator down, got a couple rockets to the body, and then finished off by that Tesla cannon, Fusion University have a good point A opportunity here.
Yeah, ATL getting a little little bit too big for their britches again, went for that very aggressive defense and got punished for it. Sugar Free, the Brigitte, one of the heroes with the most sustain in the world, going down first, and that's never a good look for your defense. But ATL do have another chance to recontest, but it's going to be a lot harder with Hawk out of mech.
Especially since Nice is so close to that Rocket Barrage, but with only 54 HP, you might have to wait another time to use it. But Fusion University don't need no Nice. They're doing it without him. Fusion University now on the point. They really want to take this. They don't have much longer to go, but Atlanta Academy doing some work right now. Sugar Free with those double kills means that Fusion University can work a little bit harder and have to invest in the EMP to make sure they grab this point.
Yeah, and now we just have Nice tooting back, and he, just like in the opening, I feel like he only had 38% to start off because everybody else was killing ATL so fast he couldn't shoot rockets at them. Now he gets back into the fight, and he may well have to switch and give up this barrage as the point was already won. But regardless, that does mean that Fusion University set a pretty impressive time bank heading into Streets phase, and looks like they will be keeping with this composition. Hold on to those ultimates, you know, see what you can get. You never know. Might well be a 4K barrage.
But they might be forcing it. They might not have done this particular comp here on Streets phase, but because Nice has that Rocket Barrage, that might be why we see Snillo on that Sombra still. But with 5 ultimates, you're feeling pretty good if you're Fusion University. We're really going to be looking at that Rocket Barrage. They really need to try to find some value for it. Thinking about it, you know, this time there wasn't a sign in the way, but there was a D-Bus. So they get the D-Mech, but Nice is going to lose his life for that Rocket Barrage. Just really, really wanted to use it. Snillo actually getting pretty close to that EMP. The Sound Barrier invested from Atlanta Academy. The self-destruct from Fusion University not going to get anything. We're seeing Nice pop off here on Streets phase, which is something we don't really see very often on these Veras, but you know, it's a sight for sore eyes for sure.
Oh yeah, and Fusion University going to be reveling in those kills as well. Elk rezzing Nice on those Streets phase, choosing to stick with this composition heading into point B. ATL may well just give this up. They do have Saucy on the McCree now. The question is, are they actually going to be able to get there in time to contest? Looks likely, but this is one of the hardest points to hold in Numbani, and there we have a contest just for a second.
Yeah, Commander taken very low during the Primal Rage, but Hawk gonna get the kill on it too at Nice. Pharaohs can be vulnerable to the self-destructs, as when you're in the air, it's a lot harder to move around, and then the Primal Rage is gonna get Elf into the end, so Fusion University do get point A, but get stopped in Streets phase. Atlanta Academy get that defense.
Yeah, even though we saw Hawk's bomb come up with only 1 kill onto the Pharah, you saw the thinking behind that play. Gator popping that Primal Rage, hoping to throw people up into that bomb's way. He does end up with that Mercy anyhow, chases her all the way down through the stairs. He's exactly like a Gator. Won't let you go once you're in his sights.
Snillo was able to build up to that other EMP, and Chongqing's going to get the kill because of it. First blood going from Fusion University. 6v, you know, 4.5 on the payload so far, but with Saucy getting Chong sick, that's not a lot of meat, not a lot of available tanking play from Fusion University. Snillo already investing that EMP. The last ultimate is Alarm Transcendence for Fusion University, so right now, looking on both sides, we're doing this the old-fashioned way until Dogman is going to pop that trance of his own. He did see Alarm just use his, so he knows he is safe to use this with a huge advantage for Atlanta Economy, but might have, almost was forced to use it there. Fusion University, though, almost lost their Zenyatta as well, so we're full 6v6 here on the payload, but no movement from Fusion University.
Oh, and Dogman actually maybe put under pressure, a bit of pressure himself, pops that Transcendence, urging his team to go forward, make something of this big investment. Graviton Surge in a big bomb, and there we have it, a Bernard Classic, comes up with 3.5.
3.5 kills for Bernard as they get the payload to the second point. It took them a little while, but with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left, they know what they need to finish this map. Fusion University struggled right before the end of point B, but they finally got it. They got to be feeling good. It's like, you know, when you're eating a ton of food and you have that burp and you can eat way more. I feel like that's exactly what they saw. Snillo, thank God there's a translocator there, as he's able to get back to that health pack and hack it for the rest of his team. Translocator thrown, so he knows what he's got to do. He's going to be able to be pretty safe on this EMP if he so chooses to use it. And there is an opportunity here as the Winston is going to come from the high ground and get that Tesla cannon going on the rest of Atlanta Academy, as Dogman's going to be going back to spawn. With the 6v4 for Fusion University and those ultimates, Atlanta Academy's got to be pretty scared right now.
Oh yeah, there was actually a really brilliant opportunity for Snillo to pop that EMP once Sugar Free was out of the way, but he held his hand, banking it for this very third push, and a really wise move as Fusion University have the overwhelming ultimate advantage. ATL, can they even touch right here?
Looks like they are going to get an opportunity to do just that, as the EMP coming from Fusion University is going to be combined with that sound barrier. Sound barrier coming from Atlanta Academy. You really wanted to take that out with that EMP, but we're not going to see that. Sugar Free getting the first kill onto Elk. So this is a 6v4 now with Atlanta Academy in the advantage here for that defense. And when you get stopped after having that momentum, it is so hard to get going again.
Very difficult. You're running uphill and you have that momentum, but then suddenly you trip and the inertia is all against you. Fusion University, though, luckily have a lot of ults to their name. They will have that grav, bomb, and that trance. ATL, though, do have a trance of their own. That is so crucial to buy just enough time. Maybe Saucy can get up to a Graviton Surge and ATL can continue to hold here, as Fusion University still have more pushes after this one. 2 minutes.
Oh, I like what Atlanta Academy is doing. They're amping it up and pushing Fusion University a little further back, and I don't think Fusion University knew what was happening, but they didn't have the tools to do anything about it. It was a good idea, but it wasn't enough. Fusion University now will have a little bit more momentum going their way, as they're going to use that Graviton Surge onto the payload, and here is that bigger bomb combo. Oh, I saw what they were trying to do. They were trying to get them booped upwards for that self-destruct. We've seen Elk do that before. They don't need it. Fusion University getting the kills they need to try to finish this map, and they're doing it a little bit faster than Atlanta Academy.
Yeah, really unfortunate that Dogman was forced to invest that Transcendence here, because ATL sure as heck could use it, as Fusion University rolling into that point C, and indeed they will also complete Nimbani.
So we're here at 3-3 on Nimbani. Extra innings. We'll see Atlanta Academy attack first, and now we're going to see the importance of point A and making sure you get at least one tick. Atlanta Academy is not going to have a ton of time, but they will have enough.
Yeah, 1 minute hopefully will be the magic amount for ATL. They've shied away from some of the crazier picks, so they're maybe going with just straight goats, but Fusion University, at least early on, showing that they are not afraid of running that Sombra. Snillo, you know, here and there with his play throughout Streets phase, but you know, that EMP was really excellent towards point C, and may well be worth a gambit. Give yourself that early advantage, hack up some of those health packs, and at least force ATL, you know where they're going to be able to rest up comfortably and where they're not.
So this is the third time we're seeing Fusion University run this team comp here on Nimbani. Why are they favoring this so far? How does it work against goats? Saucy has learned of this already, and that he's on that McCree, but Fusion University really sticking to this. I
mean, when you have a Pharah that hits directs like Neist, why not? You know, give it a shot. Snillo as well, also an extremely capable Sombra player. One McCree, you know, it is called Cushion the Cowboy comp for a reason. We actually have a Saucy on it? Nah, it's probably just going to be for an early sleep dart. But the McCree does require resource and setup and positioning, more importantly. If you're able, with those concussion mines or with a hack or just a good old defense matrix, keep him from setting up on that high ground, you have already a really big advantage.
Just a quick reminder, this is not the McCree that we see on live. So the Fan the Hammer, not as strong for this one, but that doesn't seem to matter because there is a Pharah in the air, and that hit scan's what you need to take them out. And they're going to have to force that Pharmacy back. Sugar Free getting that kill onto Chongsik. We talked about it at the beginning of the game. He's either dominating or the first one to die. And this time he's going to be the first to die. But Alarm going to bring things back for Fusion University. The numbers now fall on Fusion University's side. And looking at those ultimate charges, they're a little farther ahead on that as well.
Yeah, nice, very close to that barrage, but again, ATL, you saw them just for a second testing the waters. Can we continue to push our luck? No, they're going to go for that full regroup, a really wise idea. You asked earlier who, you know, ATL do have a McCree, who's going to be taking him down? Sometimes it's just a little old grandma, but they have to be keeping an eye to the skies. Hopefully they brought an umbrella, because Neist ready to let it rain rockets.
Here we go. Hawk is going to get a foot on to the objective, but he's going to be the only one there for a little while longer, as Gator's going to be taken down. And look at Lucio, Ajax very low as well. So the healing has to go on each other, so that means Saucy's going to be left without it. Fusion University will look like they are going to defend this point A without giving up a tick, but they are actually very close. The Rocket Barrage is all going to seal things up for Fusion University. Even though he does go down, it doesn't matter. Round 3 complete. Atlanta Academy now looking for a draw.
Yeah, Fusion University setting themselves a very easy condition right here. They only need one tick. You saw right there, Gator, the first one to go down, going a little bit too deep. He has to remember that there is a bird in the eye who doesn't need to be walking on the ground or those walkways like the rest of us peons. He can just be floating up far above, able to rain in those rockets. It really is, you know, a test of these main tanks to have played goats for so long and then come up suddenly against DPS heroes who can do a ton of burst, because, you you know, tanking is all about taking as much damage as you possibly can and then retreating. So, you know, that line may have shifted for Gator right there in that last skirmish, as Fusion University are bringing out, you know, some different heroes that we haven't seen for a while.
Yeah, I remember Pharah being, you know, utilized as a Goats counter from the very beginning, but in the end, Goats ended up just being so good that it just would outlast even that Pharah barrage from the sky. You could just leave her in the air, and the rest of the team will take everyone on the ground. Fusion University, though, showing that, hey, Pharah can still counter what Atlanta Academy is running with some good team play, but the same thing goes for this Pharah, though. It's been a struggle. It hasn't been super easy like we have seen before.
No, it's definitely a team effort from Fusion University, diverting ATL's attention, applying healing to Neist in the air to keep him up. And now for their own attacking phase, we may see something even crazier. No, okay, all right. You always hope. It was just a sonic arrow. Bernard back onto his signature hero.
You get one a day.
Yeah. I've already gone over my limit like 6 times.
That's
but,
okay.
Yeah, ATL now with Gator on this Winston, also going to have a lot of mobility, but already pressure being put on the point. You only have 33% to give.
Nice and a really good angle, forcing Atlanta Academy to really decide how they want to come in here. The thing is Fusion University are making Atlanta Academy decide how they want to get on this point, because they are going to eat rockets regardless. Hawk's going to be the one to try to get that Pharah out of the sky, and he's going to be taken down very, very low because of it. It's going to get DMAC'd, actually. So that is a huge early kill for Fusion University, and while we talk very highly about Hawk, maybe he's trying to do a little too much there.
Pharah's one of the only direct counters to the bird in the sky, and now it's just a shooting gallery, literally bombing out Fish. Dogman is able to get the better of Nice, but in the meantime, this point going the way of Fusion University. Transcend has popped, but there's the only one lonely man, one dog, getting any of that healing on the point.
Yeah, gonna be neutered there by the very end. And so Fusion University so close to grabbing that second point. Once the bodies from Atlanta Academy are off of it, they are going to win this round of Numbani. Transcendence, though, going to keep Fusion University alive. Things are getting a little bit more interesting as the rest of Atlanta Academy are coming back. But Bernard going to be better with the bombs as well, definitely winning that D.Va matchup. And the round is over. Fusion University go up 2-0 before halftime.
Yeah, really good stuff. You saw just the Hammond crouching. He's a little too tall. But yeah, just all around really good stuff from Fusion University, pulling out different comps, and not just for the cheese or the, maybe we'll get lucky and surprise them. But no, you could tell that they knew what the win condition was. Nice with excellent positioning, able to shell onto both the high ground and the objective, but they gotta get on the objective to contest. And unfortunately, given their short time bank, ATL couldn't make anything of it.
Yeah, and you know, they haven't had a hard time committing to these attacks before, but there's a little bit of apprehension that I'm seeing, particularly on that last attack from them here on Numbani. Hawk, you know, very, very quiet. You know, the clip, I'm going to use it again. You clipped his wings, right?
Yeah.
It's the Hawk's not really flying very high in the sky, a little bit more like an ostrich right now.
No, and Ostrich is very ground-laden. It was actually a really good heads-up play from Nice. The concussion boop, once that D.Va had already used her boosters, knock her onto the low ground, and then exactly as you said, just a bird with nubbins.
Oh, image. Anyway, so the thing is, too, Fusion University, while they did go to 5 games against Mayhem Academy, the thing about experience and good teams is when it matters, like this first place matchup, they know what they're doing, right? They've been here before. Atlanta Academy can't really say that.
Yeah, ATL looking a little bit, you know, not quite their usual selves. Of course, you can point to the scoreline, 0-2 for them heading into the half, but their team fights not as clean as we come to expect from them. It seems like they're like, oh, we're just going to dump all our ultimates. You know, we're really good at these combos. One of them's going to land, but unfortunately, coming up against a veteran team like Fusion University, a lot of the same members, even though they lost their DPS players, you know, it's just not going to cut it 3 times out of 5.
So Fusion University are going to go up into halftime 2-0. Atlanta Academy need to pull off the reverse sweep, which, you know, Fusion University did last week. So will they be the victims this time around? We'll find out in 6 minutes.